Ship Internet Radio, breaking news, special report. Love, light, and happy Wednesday. I am Mayanza J. Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, as always, bringing you the music, the mystics, and the mojo on 222.9 The Mothership, internet radio for the road less traveled. And this is a breaking news report to catch you up with some things and to make you more abreast of some things that are going on in the quasars. For starters, last night on Tuesday's rotation 2, or yesterday afternoon rather, 222.9 The Mothership paid electric guitar 21 gun salute to the rock legend Ozzy Osbourne. So you all can look forward to more alternative rock sets every Tuesday on the Mothership because we're going to bring in some more of that metal. So those of y'all that aren't afraid to let electric guitar screech, join the Mothership in honoring the legacies of rock and roll music, as well as many of our favorite other genres. Because, in running that yesterday, it really impacted me on a higher level on how much impact Ozzy Osbourne had on not just rock and roll music, but music altogether. And then we get a peek into the personal life. We get a peek into the good, the bad, the ugly, the humanitarianism, the fighting the demons right out in the open, and all of it is right there for you to learn from. And I take an interesting thought to the Prince of Darkness. Was he really a Prince of Darkness because he called it? Or was he a Prince of Darkness that he had to shine his own light through? I think the answer is the latter. But anyways, today on Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, day is on a reset number 1. The Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, did have his motorcade, his funeral procession in Birmingham, UK. And something about that was just very interesting. I could not stop watching it. It sparked a lot of human emotion, a lot of legacy, a lot of sending out love and light to not only Sharon and his children, but to everyone who's bereaving right now. Just something to think about. But also what's going on in the quasars is that on the same day that we bid farewell to Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, Chiron goes into retrograde. Now, Chiron is the 5th planet to go into retrograde in 2025, and it joins both Neptune and Saturn in the house of Aries. So I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we are going to talk more about that. But before I do, I just want to share this clip with you for those of you that didn't get to see Ozzy Osbourne's funeral procession that took place in Birmingham, United Kingdom, going over the Black Sabbath Bridge. Let's check it out. And there you have it. Long live one of the kings, godfathers, and pioneers of rock and roll music, Ozzy Osbourne. I'll be right back with your planetary retrograde report about planet Chiron, planet Neptune, and planet Saturn, all retrograding in Aries. This is 222.9 The Mothership, and this is a breaking news. A question on the heart is the spirit's thirst for clarity. Readings, consultations, I call them intuitive counseling sessions, but you know what I mean. They're kind of like gumbo or peach cobbler. You may have tried many, but you haven't had mine. I can say I met the divine when I was about 9. Ever since I was 16, I found myself wondering, do I have an invisible "please come tell me your business" sign taped to my forehead? Then one day I was sitting at the bus stop at a crossroad, and I had the audacity to ask the goddess, why was I even sent to earth? And I became an ethereal, intuitive counselor. And the universe has been answering that question over and over again, one phone call at a time, for the last 9 years. From there, in between sessions, I began to relentlessly apply, align, and study the ways of the stars and of the ancients. 3 years in, Orisha priestesshood to Oya came knocking. Hence the Iya in the name Iyansa J, Iyansa, an Oya praise name. Oya is the Orisha who brings radical transformation and change. Make no mistake about it now, baby. I am no soothsayer. I am no fortune teller. I'm not a private investigator. I don't cast love spells. I'm not an emotional punching bag. I'm not a spiritual trash dump. I am not a haven for jinn spirits. I give guidance with clarity, with wisdom, with love, with truth. I unlock keys to your spiritual growth and your highest destiny according to your unique design. Ready for some evolutionary change? Let's talk. Flavorful, elite, divine guidance and wisdom, broken down to the practical to bring Oya's change into your life for the better. Call 314-200-0368. That's 314-200-0368 for spiritual mentorship and guidance readings by Iyansa JT Muse. All proceeds go to 222.9 The Mothership, internet radio for the road less traveled. Beam up. And we are back. So, we're currently 5 planets in retrograde, but I'm only going to focus on 3 because today planet Chiron went into retrograde, and that is the planet in all of our natal charts that triggers the places of our deepest traumas. So, Chiron is a comet that was considered a planet later on down the line. So energetically, that brings energies of evolution, being underestimated until you come out into your full guise. But at any rate, this is a trigger point in your astrology chart that deals with all of your lifelong wounds, the wounds that you spend your entire life healing from. So this retrogrades in Aries today. Now check this out. We got Neptune in retrograde from July 4th in Aries, Saturn in Aries. Now, Aries is the house of driving force, war, initiative, action, unbridled impulse. all of those things. Now, with Neptune being the planet of divine compassion, dreaminess, ideals, higher spirituality, that being in retrograde is causing a lot of people into their 5D healing, really being proactive with meditations, doing shadow work, really facing themselves, letting things go, really striving to become more elevated, divinely aligned people. Where on the other side of the crossroad, we have Saturn retrograding in Aries, which is the planet of the trickster, the karma, the discipline, the carnal energy. And this is why you're seeing so many spiritual videos about karma coming really hard on a lot of people. This is why so many people are channeling that message, because Saturn harvests the seeds that you plant, as in cardinal earth. So at the same rate, simultaneously, at the same rate of people really growing and ascending, you have the other side of people really getting their karma. And Chiron and Neptune both Neptune and Saturn both in retrograde in Aries is what's pulling it apart. Okay, so this is a huge part of the great divide that's playing out as we speak. And with Chiron retrograding today, this is kind of the stickle in the middle, the crossroad in the middle, because Chiron is all about ceasing to sulk over the past, break down walls, tackling self doubt, turning your pain into power, choosing progress over stagnation. So when you feel that energy, you have to understand that your carnal essence, the part of you that was comfortable in your imbalances, is going to challenge you. And that's where that Saturn retrograde is coming into play. But your higher spiritual self is pulling you to ascend. And that's where the effects of Neptune's retrograde are going into play. So it's very important which side of the crossroad that we choose in this matter, because with all three of these planets retrograding in Aries, that's bringing back a lot of energy that we have to work with, work through, ascend past. So if anyone's especially if you have strong placements in Neptune and Saturn. Capricorns and Pisces, especially because these are y'all two of y'all's ruling planets. And of course, people in the house of Aries may be experiencing a lot of people coming around them to get help in sorting out their issues. But with these three planets all retrograding in Aries, you can make these useful by number one, staying focused on your Chiron retrograde energy, which is ceasing to soak over the past, tackling your self doubt, turning your pain into power, to choosing progress over stagnation, choosing peace over chaos. And this was how a little comet like Chiron evolved into a planet. Ashe? And you have Neptune's retrograde to help you with that, because Neptune's retrograde is in Aries to help you be mindful of delusionism, to get grounded in your spirituality, to pay closer attention to your dreams, to really mind your intuition, or as Ifa tradition calls, honoring your Ori. But Saturn's retrograde is showing as a warning and making examples of people who did not heed their higher warnings, did not follow the higher calls, decided to play on the wrong side of issues crossroad. So you see a lot of that with the spiritual videos, and they're correct when they're saying karma is bringing back, Saturn's retrograde is bringing back really relentless karma. Well, that's that Aries, that forward drive energy that's making these things so catastrophic. But it isn't for us to say, aha, karma, oh, that person got their karma. No, that's more of a call for you to make sure your energy is aligned so that your ass doesn't end up on the chopping block. So let that teach you with the Saturn in retrograde. Because with Saturn, Chiron, and Neptune all retrograding in Aries at the same time in the same house, that's why I called it a soul train line, because they all do when they dance. We as humans have to decide which tune we're going to dance to, the 3D karmic edition or the 5D. And how do we find the keys to each doors? Looking at your place in Chiron in your natal chart. Chiron will help you navigate very efficiently through both Saturn and Neptune's retrograde. And because Mercury is in retrograde too, that gives you kind of the space and time for stillness and to be silent. Because Mercury's retrograde is all about being recluse. That's why it causes miscommunications and travel delays. Because that's the time you're supposed to be kind of chilling, finishing old things, clearing old things out, and getting ready for the new. So take this time to really study yourself, your placements of Neptune, Chiron, and Saturn, especially Chiron, because Chiron is where you turn your karmic energy into divine energy from your own deepest wounds. So that's about it for this planetary retrograde report. Thank you guys for joining me and letting me share this with you. And if you want more cosmic wisdom like this, make sure that you tune into the forecast every night at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Spotify for full episodes, or you can listen to it audio experience only, of course, in the mix of the old school grooves on 222.9 The Mothership, your 24-hour a day, 7-day a week radio station of mystics, groove, and teachings. So I'll see y'all babies tonight on the forecast. I gotta go cook up some more mojo. Beam up. This is a 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio Breaking News Special Report.